Jill Watson and Peter Oppegard, USA.
Americans Jill Watson and Peter Oppegard trying to fill the void in American pair skating, left by the retirement of Kitty and Peter Carruthers. Watson and Oppegard were sixth after their short program. Entering this, they're free skating. At 6 feet, Peter is a full foot taller than Jill. But the truly amazing thing about this pair is that they've only been skating together since this summer. Peter has had 2 previous partners. Jill also switched partners after her partner, Bert Lansone, turned professional. It was last year at the Worlds when Watson and Lansone suffered an awful crash in their short program. The two eventually had to pull out of the competition, and Peter Oppegard would later say he was inspired with the way Jill Watson was able to get up and complete this short program. But the two were out of the competition. So this year, both Watson and Peter Oppegard with a new future in pair skating. They had their minor problems in the free skating final. But nonetheless, it was a fine performance. When the marks came up and the skating was over, Watson and Oppegard had taken 4th place. But the pair to beat this year was the Soviet team of Elena Valova and Oleg Vasiliev, who arrived here in Tokyo with a uniquely choreographed program to carry on a great tradition in Soviet pair skating. Wintertime in Leningrad, Russia's imperial city, where the Tsars spend their summers. And today, where children use their sleds in a park once owned by the Tsar. Today, what appears before the watchful eyes of Vladimir Lenin? Endless lines of Soviets queue up for, of all things, ice cream in winter. And their choice for winter sports? There are other winter sports in Leningrad. They start them young here. Those who show potential in the Soviet sports schools are on ice skates soon after they learn to walk. The recent products of this program, Olympic champions Elena Valova and Oleg Vasiliev, under the tutelage of their coach Tamara Moskvina. Following the Olympic gold medal, the pair were joined in marriage. But then, they were upset at the World Championships in Ottawa. They had won the gold in 1983. When they came back to defend, it was lost to Canadians Underhill and Martini. They come to this year's Worlds hungry to repeat their 1983 world title. After all, they are part of a tradition that includes the legendary Protopopovs, 4-time world champions. And Rodnina and Zaitsev, 6-time world champions who took a gold right here in Tokyo. They embody the concept of Soviet pair skating, which has now been inherited by Bulova and Basilio.
It seems to me that people in our country more used to such work in big or small groups to work together.
As husband and wife, the two skaters' time off the ice is still time together. If they weren't chattering away in Russian, you'd think you were watching a battle in Space Invaders between 2 American kids. But not much of their lives is spent without speaking or hearing some sort of skating vocabulary. Working here with their choreographer. But the question to the married champions, what of children?
Я сразу же. Как только закончу. Как только так сразу заведу.
А ты у меня спросил?
Я тебя не спрошу.
Well, if there is to be time for a family, you get the feeling the decision might well be shared by Coach Moskvina, who uses but who certainly needs no microphone to bark instructions to her students.
Ребят, Алекс, покруглее спираль. Да, вот здесь не забрасывать ногу раз, не забрасывать в точку. Спираль покруче два и подвужный конец. At the beginning, I see their weak point. I start to develop them, and I want this person to be very strong characters, so I can make the character grow in this person and grow as high as the world Olympic champions.
So as Bulova and Vasiliev began this year's pairs free skating program here in Tokyo, it wasn't without a large piece of Soviet skating history on their shoulders. The routine was inspiring, skated to the music of the Soviet ballet Shurali. It's the story of a forest devil who sees a beautiful bird in the forest and thinks that by possessing her, he too can become beautiful. It was a world championship goal the two Soviets dearly wanted. The story and the skating touched the judges. And when the marks appeared, there was no one even close. Bulova and Vasiliev, with their coach, Tamara Moskvina, had again regained the gold medal. As a pair, and now as husband and wife. Standing in gold medal position and in silver, the two Soviets, as you take a look at the final standings in the pair skating.
Thank you.
I'm John.